And I am back like I never left. Welcome back to the channel. Um, you know what's weird? Doing something for a long time, getting used to doing something a certain way for a long time, and then like having to do something else. You know what I mean? It's just, well, okay, before I get started. So the last time we spoke, I was talking about my transition. I was going from one place to another, and I said, things are gonna be different, things are gonna be looking different, and this is kind of the result of that, right? I'm not in the same place that I was before. I'm not even in the same place that I was last week in the middle of that video because I transitioned from Arizona to another place, and now I'm in another place even after that. Forgive the confusion, but there was a big thing that happened. I moved. I'm heading to a new place, and I'm in my new what's it called? I'm in my new permanent I'm in my new semi-permanent place location, semi-permanent, because I'll be here for a while, but this is very finite until I go to my not final destination, but the next true destination. And what's interesting about that is that this place that I'm in now is another pivot. It's another kind of unplanned thing that happened that I'm actually very excited about as I'm moving towards, going where I'm heading. So the funny thing is when I think about ideas or plans, we make plans for stuff. We're like, okay, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to college. I'm going to go to this business. I'm going to do this, blah, 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 right? Whatever the thing is, doesn't matter. But we think that a lot of times we feel like getting from point A to point B or point A to Z, whatever the end point is like maybe a straight line or something that you can kind of discern what the next thing is so you're not confused as you go along. But it's like you really don't, in my experience, you really don't have that knowing, that knowledge. It's very, very, it's really out of your hands. You can put the plan out, you can put the plan in place. Here's where I am, here's where I want to be, but it's like everything in between there, it's just, you kind of just have to figure it out. You kind of have to just trust that your desire to be where you want to be will come to fruition, but by what means? It could be a lot of things. It could be a few things. It could be like one thing, but there's something in my eye. Okay, it can be a lot of things. It can be a few things. It can be one thing, but you really don't know exactly what it's going to look like, and there's actually a lot of excitement that kind of comes along with that if you allow it to. If you're too rigid on what it is it means or what it looks like or what's supposed to happen, then things can be very frustrating. But if you're open, if you are flexible, then there's a lot of potential with things kind of happening in a way that could be really beautiful that you weren't expecting. And I think that's kind of the beautiful thing about life, is because there's so much that comes to us that is on the other side of what is known, or what is in the unknown. There's so much more that comes from that side, because what you can see is really just what's right in front of you. But that's like 0.000001% of the entirety of this world. There's so many moving parts, and if you get stuck on what you think should happen and the way it should happen and why it should happen that way and everything, it's just like your experience is going to be really limited, really skewed, and the angle is just, there's only so much, right? And coming here was a pivot. I was expecting to be somewhere else, still in Texas, and then going, somewhere else. I don't know why. Am I being purposefully vague. Do I want to share it? It's not a big deal. I don't know, but I'm like gotta be purposely vague. But I'm not sure if I really need to be. Maybe I'll share it. Let me think on it. But anyway, so I'm gonna kind of be here for, you know, let's just say 1 to 10 months. Because who knows? Because then what could happen in between that time? But then I'll be heading to the next place. Um, and I had a really cool thing happen, and I'm basking in it, right? So I'm pivoting. But when you allow the pivot to happen, it doesn't mean that you're off track. It might mean that you're exactly where you need to be, although you didn't expect it to go that way. And it's kind of like it harkens back to my time when I was in California. So you may or may not know, depending on who's watching, I went to California years ago to learn personal training, to do that whole thing because I thought that with my aptitude for fitness and health and everything, I'll go be a personal trainer, and then I'll be able to help people in a more physical way. There's the health stuff, but there's also like the training stuff because you want to get healthy, but then people want to be strong, they want to be fit, and that's very good, right? Good for your health, good for your body. So I went to California and I was learning the tricks of the trade and everything and doing that. So my idea was I was going to learn that stuff. I was going to come back to Texas, and then I was going to write up programs, and I was going to talk to people, and that was going to be the thing that I did. So lo and behold, I learned the information. I come back to Texas. I'm just like, yo, let's get this program written up. Let's get things going, and then just getting to the point where the program is up and running took like half a year. And the original projection was just 30 days. So I was just like, okay. And just after a while, I start to lose steam. I start to lose excitement because it's something that's taken so long when I know that it shouldn't. And the projection also wasn't like that. And, so I was like, okay, what's going on here? So when it's finally up, then the whole world shuts down. So then everything that I learn and everything that I do is based off, working out in the gym, working out with the weights. And that's how I personally enjoy exercise. And that's what I wanted to do. And it was losing that was a huge thing. And I was like, oh, well, what am I supposed to be doing, right? If that's not the thing, then what is it? And I harken back even further. Back to 2014, 2015, I'm in massage school, right? Doing massage therapy. And I go and I learn that stuff. I get really good at it. And I do it successfully for about a year, like really successfully, like 5 to 7 clients a day, you know what I mean? Earning well, and just like, oh man, this is my first experience outside of the military doing something and being really successful at it. So I was like, okay, sweet. And then noticing after that first year how it just started to trickle off. The clients weren't coming in like they used to. And for years after that, it was just a struggle. I was just like, well, what am I supposed to do? So I started looking, because I'm just like, okay, clearly this isn't where I'm supposed to put my energy long term. And there was this constant flux of it's funny to use constant and flux in the same, but there was this, this shifting energy. Things never lasted too long, and I kept pivoting, looking for new things because I'm trying to figure out where I'm supposed to go, how I'm supposed to be, what I'm supposed to do, and what that looks like for me in my life. And when you think about all those things, when you think about what it means to pivot, how you find your way in your life, it's just, you can't find your way in life by just going straight. You gotta have the little turns. You gotta look other ways. You gotta, zig and zag, because that's kind of what's necessary. Because everything that you experience, everything that you encounter, everything that comes your way is a stimulus, and you respond to it, whether positively or negatively or neutral, whether it's something you want in your life or something you don't, or if you don't care and just let it exist. And these things combined with different people and them having their own experiences, and everybody's sort of working in tandem together, figuring it out, right? Like figuring out how it works. And really, you know, when you if you could take a step back and see it, I'm sure it'd be beautiful to kind of see the the interplay from person to person when we're all, you know, working to find our way, and then eventually getting to that place. So, you know, I had some ideas about, you know, traveling around, and I will be traveling around definitely, but for now, just gonna be a little stationary as I wait for somebody to also be ready so we can go. Uh, I want to out her. So we can go and you know, kind of do our thing, but be able to sit still and be patient. That's also why it's important to have patience, because when you pivot, things change, the energy shifts, and it might require you to sit still again. And I feel like a lot of things in my life are do stuff, learn stuff, grow, heal, and then sit still, and then wait for the next, you know, wait for the next thing to happen so that you can respond to it. And I'm just learning. It's getting to a point with the trust, you know, trusting myself and trusting my decisions. And it's like I know that it's going to work itself out, and there's really no rush. You know, I've got my whole life ahead of me, and you know, there's also a time for me to be able to heal any rifts that I've had with places that I've lived, or the people that I've shared that space with, and you know, to heal those rifts so that that it doesn't exist anymore. Because I want to be whole when I'm traveling. I want to feel like I can go anywhere and it, you know, things be okay, right? I want to feel like I can do it, and I'm safe, and not because I'm in a safe place, but because I bring safety wherever I go. That's one of my affirmations. That I bring safety wherever I go. So, you know, with that expanded view, just, you know, being able to see some old stuff and look at it differently, look at it from a different point of view, and it's one of those things that it's a big pivot, but I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for the experiences up until now, because it's shaped who I am, and it shaped how I've looked at other things, and now being able to come back and being a more expanded, you know, person, you know, with more growth and wisdom, and maturity. It's like, okay, this is not bad. And also just being able to be a helpful energy to those around me when I'm in the grocery store, when I'm, you know, walking down the street, wherever I'm at, to be the light where there maybe is very little. And I think this harkens back to the importance of being authentic, being authentically you, because people, they need to experience that, because they could be living a lie. You know, maybe they don't feel comfortable being them because they're trying to fit into a crowd or a system that doesn't really jive with them, not at their deepest level. So then here you come along being authentically you, and they're like, yes, that's what I want to do. I want to be that confident. I want to feel that confident. I want to maybe wear that thing and not, you know, care what other people think. You know, I got my cowboy hat, and I'm not in Texas, and I know, I know that that's different. I know it is, but I don't care, because I love my cowboy hat, and I'm confident in me. I'm confident in the fact that I enjoy it, and that's enough. You know, when your child is a little harder, right? Because we want to fit in, and so we do what everybody else does. But I encourage you to stick out, be you. You know, do what you like. If what you like is what everybody else is doing, fine, do it. But if you want to do something different, if you want to wear, If you want to wear teal when everybody else is wearing blue, then do it. You know, if you want to carry a ball around when everybody else has, so I don't know, something, do it. Do something. Do what you feel. You know, if you want to wear a cowboy hat in the wintertime instead of the, you know, the winter hats, do it. You know, that's what it means to be you, and if that's what you want, and that's what I do. Now, if it's too cold, I'm gonna put on something to cover my ears up. But you know, I got all this hair too, so this is like a little hat. It's like a built-in hat, you know. But the point is to pivot. So right now, like I said, I'm in the transition. I'm gonna be in this place for, you know, up to 10 months. It's gonna be looking different from how it's looked in my old videos. So just, you know, bear with me, follow along with me. I might change things up from time to time because that's just how I am. I mean, sometimes I can be unpredictable. I'm flowing, right? I'm flowing with things. And that's why I want you to do. I want you to flow with things because sometimes it just happens. You can't always plan it out exactly. Even getting set up for this video, I was setting up for this video, and I'm so thankful I had help because I was getting so tired. Because I'm in a new place. Things aren't how I'm used to them being. And I'm trying to figure out what to do and how to do it and, you know, this and that. And I was getting exhausted quick. It was like 30 minutes and I was yawning. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting so tired because I'm just, you know, I'm not really made for that. It's set the camera down. Okay, got some decent lighting. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, done. You know, I don't know how to do the production, but you know, it was a pivot. Just learning through that. So, yeah, I'm gonna get things. I'm gonna get grounded in my energy. So I'm having a better, you know, when you're driving cross country, it really kind of takes it out of you. I don't know if you've ever driven cross country. Did like 15 hours. Then I did another 13 or 14 hours, and it's you know, you get a little loopy. You know, you're tired. You got all your stuff with you. It's a lot of driving. I don't mind the drives. I like the long drives because, you know, you get on these long drives, you get to get snacks, or you know, get to look at weird things like how fast you got to a certain place, how long you went before you needed to get gas, and then like how the gas price changed from state to state, and like are you saving, like, oh, the gas price here is pretty good. I don't know. I just wish there's little weird things that I enjoy about long trips. I think I filled up one time during that trip for like $35. I was just like, what? You know, Arizona, I was used to paying like $4 or $5 for gas, and I'm paying half of that, you know, some of these other states. So it was like, you know, kind of cool. I got a nice little reprieve from those crazy prices. But yes, just bear with me, just hang on, because I'm pivoting. I'm learning how to be in a different space after being in my own space for, you know, the last year, and you know, I'm figuring it all out. So just give me some time to get reestablished, get things going, get the things flowing, and soon, you know, soon things will start to. Well, I don't know where they're gonna. I don't know where they're gonna go. I know, in, you know, like I said, in you know, maybe about 10 months, I know where they're going to be heading at a certain point. But up to this point, I don't know. So you just gotta. So we're gonna figure it out together, okay? We're gonna figure it out together, and we just gonna go with the flow and just see what's up. So I got some other things coming up, some interviews and such that I was a part of. So when that comes up, I'll tell you all about it, and you can go take a listen, take a watch. But until then, stay tuned. Thank you for joining me. Gratitude ad infinitum. I'm Johnny Jupiter, and remember, there is no outro.